Okay, let's have a look at this vectors question, which does have a particularly nasty question at the end, which I know a lot of students struggle with. First two are pretty straightforward. Find OC in terms of A and B. Right, how do we get from O to C? Well, I can see a route from O to B and B to C. The reason I didn't use O to A and A to C is because we don't know A to C yet. So it's 4B. Add 2A minus 2B, which simplifies to 4B minus 2B is 2B, 2B plus 2A. Next question. Find AB in terms of A and B. Okay, A to B. We can go A to O, O to B. Seeing as A to O, we're going the wrong way through the line. It's negative 3A plus 4B. Okay, this part B is quite a difficult question. IGCSE and Excel do love this type of question, and not many people can answer it. So if you can get these marks, you're picking up marks most people can't get. So it wants the ratio A to P, P to B. Now, I always try and find A to P in two different ways. This is my preferred method. We can see A to P is like part way along A to B. Like it's a fraction of the way along that line, isn't it? So we can write A to P is a fraction of the way along. I'm going to use a letter Y to represent like part way along the line of A to B, which we found out in the previous question, minus 3A plus 4B. Okay, how else can we find A to P? If we look on our diagram, A to P is A to O, O to P. Okay, well we know A to O, that's fine. A to O is minus 3A. We don't know O to P, but again, we know it's part way along the line. I'm going to use X because this will be different to your Y. Fraction of the way along the line A to P is of A to B. Fraction of the way along the line of O to C. And O to C we found. Okay, so now we know A to P in two different ways. We can write them equal to each other. I want to find out the value of X and Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to equate coefficients of A and equate coefficients of B. So equate coefficients of A. Well, let's look at this A term here. If I expanded these brackets, we'd have minus 3AY plus 4BY. What's the coefficient of A? What would be with A? It'd be minus 3Y. And on the other side, if I equated the coefficients of A, well, with this A here, we've got a negative 3. Plus, if I expanded these brackets, we'd have, let's ignore the B term. The second part of it would be 2AX, so 2X. I'm now going to equate coefficients of B. On the left-hand side, we'd have 4y, because if you'd expanded the brackets, you get 4by. On the right-hand side, we'd have 2x. So now I have two equations with x and y, so using some sort of simultaneous equations, I am going to find out the value of x and y. You could make them equal to the number, I suppose, and use the elimination method. But I think here it's best to make x or y the subject and then sub it into the top one. So I'm going to make, doesn't really matter which way you do it, I'm going to make x the subject. By dividing both sides by 2. So if I divide the right hand side by 2, we've got x. We divide the left hand side by 2, we've got 2y. So we know x is equal to 2y. And I'm going to sub this into this equation at the top. So if I do that, we get minus 3y equals minus 3 plus 2 times 2y. Okay, now I'm going to make y the subject by, I'm going to add 3, no I'm not, I'm going to minus 4y from both sides to get minus 7y equals minus 3. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 7, which gives you y is 3/7. Let me just change the colour here. So now we know that y is 3/7. This y here is 3/7. So because A to P is 3/7 of the way along this line, we know it's a ratio like it's 3 out of a total of 7, so it'd be 3 to 4. Final answer.